capacity to learn and adjust to relatively new and changing conditions. So you have a condition that you are used to, something happens, that condition changes or environment changes. If you have got the capacity to learn the new environment, then you are intelligent. If you are able to adapt to the new situations that are coming for you, then, as far as working is concerned, you are intelligent. And Wesley says that intelligence is a global aggregate, or it is the aggregate capacity of an individual to think rationally, act purposefully, and to deal effectively with his environment. So, you are acting purposefully, you are acting effectively, but also rationally with the environment. You are intelligent. So you find people are mourning and you are riding on a bicycle. People have gathered in a funeral, you're riding on a bicycle. But then you're fasting. You are intelligent. Because you're looking at the environment and then you're adjusting and reacting and acting accordingly. Then therefore, you are thinking, you are intelligent. That was also great. But failing which, you've seen people, they are outside mourning and you're on a bicycle, which is cool. And then even as far as this definition is concerned. But make sure you are thinking rationally, acting purposefully, but also deal with the environment effectively. So, intelligence is the capacity to do something useful in the society in which we live. Intelligence is also the responsibility to respond successfully to new situations and the capacity to learn from one's past experience. So you can see that all these definitions are talking about the ability to live in a moment. But as you're living in the environment, make sure that you adapt. When the environment changes, you should be able to be on top of the game. When you do that, it means your mind is good enough, you are intelligent, and you are able to change, or you are able to adapt as the environment is also changing. And it is said that intelligence is a product of heredity and environment. Is this true? Intelligence is a product of heredity and the environment. So, because my parents were daft, I am also bound to be born daft.
But actually, it's not most of them who are they're intelligent because of heredity. Because you can find that in a family, you find that someone is more intelligent, another one is not. So maybe.
What could be the reason?
I don't know the reason, but I'm saying that I've got heredity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's not solely the work of heredity, it can also be the environment. Okay, so if suppose I give birth to a child who is very intelligent, but he's growing up in an environment where there is no sufficient food, and they are constantly sick, that is going to play a part on what was inherited in them. So yes, it's an issue of heredity, but also the environment plays a big part to bring out that. Sometimes you also discover that they are kids, because of exposure, money and all, they are able to do certain things because the environment provides for them. But without that, you may discover that they are simply average children, but because they are exposed. You're born in a family where at age 3, at age 4, you've got the PS, whatever systems, you're playing games and all that. There are phones in your house, there are different types of machines around, you're going on holidays, you're being exposed to a lot of things. So you're growing up with this kind of intelligence where it is part of your environment. But in the brain, there is nothing that was passed on from the parents. But because of where you're growing up in, then you become it. You take this child and drop it somewhere where But if you take this one over here with what they have in their head, bring them to this environment, they will even do better than you or me. So my point is, yes, intelligence has got something to do with heredity. It also has something to do with the environment. These two, they play a part. The inherited capacity is modified by maturation, but also the environment that the person is living in. So, in order to understand the concept of intelligence, we need to know the theories of intelligence. So, there are theories of intelligence. These theories are not as big as you know some of them that we have already learned. This one has got, there is one which is known as unit or one factor theory. Unit or one factor theory. Some psychologists, they believe that intelligence is a basic ability that affects performance on all cognitively oriented tasks. They are not intelligent. One unit or one factor theory, these psychologists, they believe that intelligence is a basic ability that affects performance on all cognitively oriented tasks. They believe intelligence is a basic ability. They believe that intelligence is a basic ability that affects performance on all cognitively oriented tasks. On every task that has got something to do with the head. If you do better in such kind of tasks, then you are intelligent. This is one unit or one factor theory. If you do good in everything that has got something to do with your brain, whether it's computing math, whether you are writing essays properly, whether you are able to solve riddles, then this person is intelligent. This is a unit or one factor theory. So whoever is not able to do that, they are not intelligent. Can I move on from there? So we are saying, this theory believes that whoever does well in everything that has got something to do with the cognitive ability, if they are able to compute math problems properly, if they are able to analyze, say, a poem, if they are able to write essays or do well in exams, then this person is intelligent. But there is another theory which is a two-factor theory. Two-factor theory. So, the two-factor theory, I want you to understand it. It is a theory that was suggested by some guy known as Spearman. And Spearman suggested that intelligence consists of one part, which is known as the general factor, and the general factor is known as the G factor, and the other one is the S factor, which is the specific factor. G factor and S factor. So Spearman says that intelligence consists of these two. There is a general factor and a specific factor. So the general factor is simply known as the G factor. The S factor is the specific factor. All of these make up the two-factor theory. So when we say the G factor and the S factor, what is this all about? So the G factor, which is the general factor, it includes all mental operations which are common, which are primary, as well as they are common to all performances. So G factor includes mental operations which are primary and common to all performances. So I can sing, she can sing, you can sing, a lot of people in this school can sing. But now, when it comes to the S factor, you discover that her singing may not be the same as my singing because she's able to hit a higher note. She's able to transpose and all that. But if you talk about my singing, it's the kind of singing that is going to happen in the shower, which everybody else is going to sing. But she can have an S factor whereby she's able to sing like a Whitney Houston. Okay, so we've got, maybe let me take that as kind of an example. We've got people that sing, and then we've got people that sing within the singing industry, right? So this is what we're calling the S factor. We know that Whitney Houston was able to go higher and higher, and then there are others that are able to sing with a very deep voice. That's an S factor for them. That's specific intelligence within that particular person. So in this classroom, we may all, what kind of another example can I give? Okay, they're singing, everybody's singing, but then in the singing industry, you discover that people have got different abilities, and maybe help me with another example. Alright, let's talk about doctors. We have doctors that will be in a hospital treating and helping patients, right? But then you will find specific doctors that will tell you this one is good with children. If the child is good, go to this particular person. Or this one is good in operation. There was a certain person I met who was talking about Dr. Ndapa, the same Dr. Ndapa that you know. And she said that in the health industry, to have Dr. Ndapa out was a loss because he was a very good surgeon. He could do operations very well. So he is a good doctor like any other person. But when it comes to specifically opening people, he was very good. So this is the S factor in the whole. I think you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. So people are able to do things similar, but within the pool, there is someone who has got a special gift on a specific thing, and that one is what is known as the S factor. So we are saying there are different theories of intelligence. The one, unit factor. Whether you are able to process things in the mind, if you are not able to do that, you are not intelligent. And then there is this one whereby we say it's a two-factor theory. There is a general way where everybody else is going to do it, but there is also the S factor. So that's the two-factor theory. And there is multiple theory of intelligence. Unit, two, and then multiple. Amongst all of them, this one is my favorite, the multiple theory of intelligence. Meaning it's more than two, right? Yeah. So this one was, the guy behind multiple intelligence is Gardner. Gardner. So Gardner says that all human beings possesses 8 types of intelligence. The multiple intelligences are 8. So each and every individual, or in the human race, there are at least 8 intelligences. So for him, an intelligence is not a single entity. There is nothing like one unit or one factor theory in intelligence. No. It is there are different types that exist, and each intelligence is independent of one. So each type of intelligence is independent one, meaning to say that if a person exhibits or shows one type of an intelligence, it does not necessarily mean that they are high or low on the other types of intelligence. He also says that different types of intelligences interact and work together to find a solution to a problem. So if I have a problem at hand, it is not only the G factor or the S factor that is going to take care of it, but multiple intelligences are going to work together to sort out that kind of a problem. So what are the 8 types of intelligences that Gardner is talking about? So the first one is linguistic. Now we are talking about the 8. There is a linguistic.
So we should write 8 multiple theories.
8 types of intelligence, according to Gardner. So we have got 1 unit, 2 factors, and then the third one is multi-theory of intelligence. So examples of so we are saying multi-theory of intelligence. That says there are 8. Now we are listing the 8 types of the intelligence. So there is linguistic, then there is logical, which is also known as mathematical. There's logical or mathematical. The second one. Apart from that, there is also spatial intelligence, and there is also musical. There is spatial, there is musical, there is naturalistic, there is interperson and interperson. Naturalistic. Interperson and interperson. And apart from that, the last one, which is the 8th one, is known as the kinesthetic. Interaction. And then the last one is known as the body kinesthetic. So that's the body kinesthetic. But the 8th one. So what is it? Yeah. There's linguistic, that I've written lingua. I've written lingua for linguistic. Naturalistic. So during an exam, I'm going to ask you to explain any of them. Explain the following types of intelligence. So you need to know what the intelligences are all about. So when we're talking about linguistic intelligence, this one involves the production and use of language. I am sure you have met people that are very good at acquiring other people's languages within a short period of time. You go to a place, within a year, they are fluent in that language in that particular area. I have been to Zuzu like for I don't know how long, but I can hardly speak Chimuka. But I really, really want it. But I know that I'm now the owner. I can't see it all. But I want to speak it. But there are other people, the moment they just switch to places, their time completely changes. This is what we are saying. The capacity to use language fluently, as well as flexibly to express one's thinking, as well as understanding others. So, it is a specific kind of intelligence. Others are good at that. Acquisition of language. Not just acquisition, but they are able to communicate. They are able to understand other people using this kind of language that has just been acquired. And spatial. This one is skills in forming visual images and patterns. Spatial. Did I write special? It has to be spatial. What's it? Spatial. Spatial, what do you know when you look at spatial? So, the ability or skills in forming visual images and patterns. I am not very good with math. You take me to a place and you tell me, okay, we are going to area 36 and make sure you see where we're going. You're going to come back by yourself. I'm not going to do that. Well, I'm going to go to a place. It will take me 3-4 times for me to get used to that place. The visual patterns that are happening. For that to be in my mind, it is going to be hard. But other people, you take them to a place once and fully remember I can go there by myself. What is that? That's kind of an intelligence. So we're saying that's spatial intelligence. So this is the skill of forming visual images and patterns. So it refers to the abilities involved in forming, using, as well as transforming mental images. So when you do that, you are intelligent. You go outside. Were you writing? Were you writing? Okay. When I go in Malawi, it's easy for you to find your way around. But when you cross the border to go other places, you look at the massive buildings. For me to get to a place where I am comfortably walking alone from place to another, it takes me a long time. One month is not even enough. I'm telling you, there was a place it took me 3 months for me to start riding a bicycle to move from one place to another. By the end of 3 months, that's when I was able to move around and I was able to differentiate. I think including in Naidu Talk to say, Java, and so on and so on. It's something that doesn't come just like that. It's something that you need to have it. So when you have that, you've got that kind of an intelligence. You hear other people have gone outside and they can't drive on the road. Why? They don't have that kind of intelligence. Others will go there 1 month later, they will tell you, I have a license, I'm driving in their roads and so on and so forth. But it needs something that doesn't just come like any other. It's a skill. Then there is logical, mathematical. This one, it is a scientific, it is skills in scientific thinking and problem solving. So it is the ability to think critically as well as logically. It's not just about adding 1 plus 1 or making arithmetic, but that ability to think critically. Someone gives you a bottle like that. You just go like, oh, here is a bottle, it's round. But then somebody is going to go like, oh, here is a bottle, it's round, yes, but that's got grooves. And this part is bigger than the other one, and so on and so forth. What is happening? There is a mental or cognitive process that is happening. You just don't see things the way they are. You try to analyze them. You try to criticize them. The way I can give you a lecture on a certain topic. How I am going to ask you questions on the same topic is going to be different from somebody else. Why? What is our reasoning ability? Our levels of reasoning is going to be different. So others have got that kind of logic thinking and mathematical skills. You give them a problem, they will tell you right there, and I think you should do ABCD. You give them math, they will be able to calculate and so on. So, they are ability to think logically as well as critically. This is what we are calling logical or mathematical intelligence. The ability to think logically and critically. And then there is musical intelligence. This one is the sensitivity to musical rhymes and patterns. The sensitivity to musical rhymes or rhythms. Musical rhythms and patterns. So that capacity to produce, create, as well as manipulate musical patterns. This is what we are calling musical intelligence. So, sensitivity to musical rhythms and patterns is musical intelligence. The ability or the capacity to produce, manipulate, as well as create musical patterns. So I have got a daughter who sings, but she started from way back. I didn't know. When you're listening to music, she was not listening to the words or the usual doom 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 that we normally hear. She would pick a certain instrument from that music, and then she would start singing along, and then you go like, what is she singing? When you listen to what she's singing and you listen to the song, you actually say, okay, I think this is an instrument that is in this music. But it's not the new one that we go for the bass and whatever. She was going deep into that. I think it is only about 14 years later that I discovered that she has got a singing intelligence, and she really sings. She can go high, she can manipulate the musical pattern, but it's not something that you and I can just wake up to say, I think I can hear a cymbal, I can hear whatever, and then you start mentioning instruments within that song, or the noise that you're hearing. It takes somebody's ear with this kind of intelligence to be able to select or hear such kind of noises. So this is musical intelligence. And then there is this one which is somehow funny, the bodily kinesthetic. Have you ever heard about it? You don't know which sport it is. There is a group of people in this world that are able to twist their bodies. You see, there is a leg, it comes over their shoulder and yeah. There is, I think it's Asia. Asia does that a lot. The Asians. This is what we're calling bodily kinesthetic. So, usually whole portions of the body, using them flexibly and creatively. So you can construct products or you can do things with the body. So this is what we're calling body kinesthetic. You and I, we can do that. Think and nobody. What do you mean? It's not true. Because the body has gone out. But others, you find that they can swing the hand from this way until it goes the other way. Naturalistic. These guys are the kind that are sensitive to the features of the natural world. So they are sensitive to the features of the natural world. This one involves a complete awareness of our relationship with the natural world. Naturalistic. They go out there, they will tell you stories about how you can become one with nature, how you can become one with this and that. If you walk barefoot, it's going to increase your lifespan and so on and so forth. And you actually hear others that they will tell you that I was born into the country. Why? They don't want to live in the towns where there is the hustle and bustling of noises. But they want to go into the bush so that they can be one with nature and all. So naturalistic, they've got a sensitive eye to the natural world, and they actually have a special relationship with it. And there is interpersonal. Interpersonal. This one is sensitivity to the aspects of other people's behavior. Sensitivity to other people's behavior. intelligent. They have got a very good skill of understanding the motives, feelings, as well as behaviors of other people. And when they do that, they can able bond comfortably with people and make or form relationships. So what happens is that I can meet you for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but I'll be able to know advice on thinking of more. 1, 2, 3, we can't be together because then they wouldn't have died. So I'll be in a group, but I'll be observing people, I'll be observing their feelings, their behaviors. Not you can't observe feelings, but I'm going to watch their motives and again their behaviors, and using that I'll be able to form bonds. The other time I was giving an example of I've got this kind of friend. Her name is Agnes. We can be the two of us together, and we meet someone. We just talk, oh hi, how are you? And then we pass. The moment we pass, she will ask you, did you see what she was wearing? Did you see this thing on her head? Did you see her shoe? Did you see? You're like, Agnes, what kind of woman and I have about 5 minutes to see that? What time did you see all this thing? Okay, that's so good. You want to do that. And she, within a short period of time, she has scanned the whole person and she knows that you were fine, you were this, okay? But the time that she really impressed me was when everybody else was against her and she stood to say, you guys, this person is a thief and he is not sick. And the whole house was against her. The whole church, I should say, was against her. They said, how can you say someone is not sick when they have got their leg in POP? And she stood to say, you know what, POP is a body. So here is a guy who came to church and stayed for some time. That happened, he brought back the money, he took another larger amount, he went out. When time came for him to give back, he was involved in a car accident where he came to church and said, I was involved in a car accident. They would have went in a crutches. And he stands in front to say, my driver died, I am happy that I am saved, I am still alive. And the guy cried, in fact, like sobbing and crying. You could actually see the tears rolling down. The day after, people decided to go see him at his house. Agnes was part of the people. So she was there, she looked at the house, scanned the house, came out and said, you guys, this guy is not sick. No, he is not sick, this guy is a thief. So everybody was like, he went to one that you saw me, how can you say that? So we got the guy to say, people are saying in the walk, but you know what happened? He went back to the hospital. He actually had a bed in the hospital. The leg was up. We went to the hospital, Agnes insisted. This is the last. So you can actually see this kind of a person, whatever intelligence she was using, she said, no, it's not possible. And then, this guy got out of the hospital, he went home, and Agnes said, you know what guys, I am going to go to him and I'm going to confront him. You will hear what he says. That's exactly what she did. She took the whole house and said, you guys, for the past 3 weeks you've been saying I'm a liar, I'm this, I'm that, today I'm going to prove it. She took everybody, went back to the house and started quizzing the guy. The guy started crying and told me, you know what, I was just lying and this POP, I just paid someone to the hospital, even can pay that credit for me. So he did that so that people should help him. Yes. He paid someone to give him a bed in the hospital. He paid someone to do the POP for him so that we should say he was involved in a car accident. Then the money that he borrowed should not be given back. So he he borrowed money from the church. And all that was a lie. So Agnes, with her interpersonal intelligence, she picked to say no. This is not true. But looking at everything else, with a normal eye, there was no place where you could actually say you could actually see that this person is lying. Because who lied? And how can you lie to go in the hospital and have your leg hang up? Even at that point, she said, no, this leg is not broken. This guy is okay. She's lying. That's the intelligence that we're talking about. So because for her, I kept asking, how did you know that this guy was lying? She says, I looked at his house and how he's looking at his house and lying, connected. So it's something that she cannot understand. I cannot understand, but it's in her. It's that kind of intelligence that is in her. So she's that kind of a person who is always scanning the environment to the point that I told her, you are a very bad friend because you are now making me to start looking at things differently. So you see someone smiling and you're like, why is this person smiling? You see? So for me, if I see someone smiling, I'll just go like, oh, they are happy. But for her, she's going to go like, why? Why are you hiding? Why are you smiling? What are you trying to take from me? What have you been doing? So she's going to start that quickly and then come to a conclusion and then they start conversating. So if she's going to have a friend, it is going to be a kind of friend that it is the friend that should pass all this scanning and come to a point where she's going to be accepted. That can be a trusted friend. So she's always like that. And the woman and the but most of the time she's correct. So this is the interpersonal intelligence. And then there is intra. Interperson is within. Inter is between one person and another. Intra is within the person. So this one is awareness of one's own feelings, motives, and desires. So the awareness of one's own feelings, motives, and desires. So that place where you actually know your abilities, you know your strengths, and you know your weaknesses, and you use that knowledge effectively to relate to others. So you actually know who am I, and because you know these are my weaknesses, you look around for friends that have got your strength in the particular area that you are weak at. So because you know who you are, then you use that knowledge to relate to other people in the crowd. So this is what is known as intrapersonal awareness of own feelings, motives, as well as desires. So when you know these internal strengths and limitations, you use that knowledge to effectively relate with others. So this is what we are calling interpersonal intelligence. So this is what Gardner says, which I somehow agree. I may not have the interpersonal intelligence. I may not have both in a setting, but maybe I am musical, maybe I am naturalistic, maybe I am linguistic. So you can't necessarily say one is not intelligent, because I am intelligent in other aspects. Someone may have, I don't think there is anyone who can have all of them. Maybe they are, but very few. But at least one or two or three or one. But but at least you should have one intelligence out of the 8, which you can say, okay, maybe this is my S factor, or this is my G factor. Is there any question so far? We have got about 18 minutes. So you tell me, is either we can start development or we keep development for the next session, which by now I can comfortably say we will have 2 sessions. So we meet next Tuesday, or what we can do, Tuesday evening, whether you can meet Mama and Sunday, so we are done. That's it, no? Yeah, but I don't want, I also go look for money. Yeah? Next Thursday I'm going to go to Rwanda, so I'm also hunting for money. Yeah. So my point is, next week, let's do 8 to come at 1:15, which is okay because we will still finish. I'm not going to come at 1 sharp, I'm going to come at 1:15 or 1:20.
So we'll finish.
Yeah, we'll finish. I think I'm going to Tuesday, I think because of we will not.
We can forget.
Alright, if we're good to go, then I think that's the end of today.
Thank you.
That's what we're going to do. Don't you? I thought I have already given it, but your friends are my members are right. So I did. I haven't read this about the person. Because I wouldn't have done it. On Tuesday afternoon, as I said, we'll want to figure out so we can use the project. It's going to be helpful. They want me according to your school calendar. I'm not calling that school money. Is the assignment on the group?
The second assignment is on 4th.
It's on the group? Not on the group? I think I'm going to But let's leave it the way it is. Read the
On
one.
Tuesday. Okay.
And then get the forward.